Hey everyone, how's it going? It's me, Brandon, back again with another episode, and today we're going to be discussing my initial impressions of Pokemon Scarlet. I've been playing maybe about 5+ hours or so, and I have a couple things to say. Every new Pokemon generation, I'm always excited to see what starter is the best, what's the new gameplay scenario in this game, what's the new gimmick, and I always look forward to Pokemon. I love this franchise so much. And when they announced that we're getting a new generation after we just got Pokemon Arceus. So it's here. Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet. I ultimately chose Scarlet. And I have a couple thoughts. Let's go ahead and talk about Pokemon Scarlet. Pokemon Scarlet finally allows the player to roam around the region at their own pace, letting them take on gyms in any order, discover the secrets of the Paldea region, combat the evil Team Star, and more. All this is possible, and I found myself getting lost just watching Pokemon and trying to catch all the new ones I spot to add them to my Pokédex. The gameplay loop of Pokemon is better than ever, especially with the player in control of where they want to go and how to get there. Multiplayer is also a blast here, getting to team up with friends and travel across the landscape together in search of that new next Pokemon, completing raid battles, or just hanging out. Surprisingly, it works really well and is so fun to cheer on your friends as they battle other trainers or try to help catch the one Pokemon you both have been looking for. Let's talk about the biggest issue with Pokemon Scarlet, and that is its presentation. As I said earlier, finally we have this big expansive Pokemon experience for a new generation, and we have full multiplayer, we have a full open world, but at what cost? Game Freak has been having a troubling track record for their games on the Nintendo Switch. Each new Pokemon iteration seems to have its issues, and it feels like Game Freak is cutting corners to make deadlines or not fully using the power of the Nintendo Switch, and it shows. Scarlet looks very dated, or its sense of style is just non-existent. This has been a problem on the Switch since Pokemon Sword and Shield came out in 2019. Pokemon feels like it is stuck as a handheld game with low quality textures and a vast amount of pop-in while traveling across the region of Paldea. The performance of the game is also very jarring, with the frame rate scaling with draw distance, making characters and the world around you appear choppy. I don't know who to point fingers at in this situation. Could it be Nintendo Switch's power or Game Freak's lack of understanding of the Nintendo Switch hardware? Comparing this game to others on the Switch like Xenoblade Chronicles and Breath of the Wild, it is hard to understand how Pokemon still turns out to look like a mediocre game in presentation next to those other games that just look and perform so much better on the same hardware. My biggest problem with Pokemon Scarlet is that in January, we got Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I thought was a really good Pokemon game. It was a great refresh. It freshened up the entire Pokemon experience that we've been having over the last couple of years. Sword and Shield, we were complaining about animations, graphical fidelity, just the performance on the Nintendo Switch itself. And then Arceus shook up the formula. We can now capture Pokemon without battling. And there was new graphics and all this other stuff, open world situations. Very cool. And then when the Pokemon Company or Game Freak announced this year that we're getting another generation this year, that had me concerned, and I ultimately think these things need to hit the brakes a little bit. We had 3 Pokemon games over the last year. The Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, we had Pokemon Arceus, and then now we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And it almost feels like we are just so saturated in Pokemon content. Just let the stuff breathe. Pokemon Legends Arceus was a fantastic experience for me this year, and an awesome Switch game, and I loved it so much. It's probably quickly rising to one of my favorite Pokemon games just because of how fresh it felt. And when we got the announcement, like I said, of Scarlet and Violet coming out this year, I was just like, I can't believe we're just getting another Pokemon experience. And it just feels rushed. You look at the trailers, and you see the quality, and you see the frame rate, and it's like we just got a Pokemon experience. Let it breathe. Why can't we get Pokemon games that drop in March again? But that is my biggest problem with this game currently, is that it feels like it was rushed to meet a deadline. But anyway, in conclusion, I'm still really enjoying my time with Pokemon Scarlet. There's a lot of stuff here that's really great for Pokemon, and it definitely broadens the horizon for what Pokemon can be. And it just makes me wish that we had more polish in these games on release date, because there's something special in Scarlet that we just haven't seen in Pokemon, and I really enjoy it. But the hardware limitations of the Nintendo Switch, Game Freak's misuse of the Nintendo Switch hardware, it's all an issue, and I just want it to be fixed in the future, because there's something so special under all of this nastiness and graphical issues and glitches and all this nonsense in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that I cannot wait to see what they do next, and hopefully they can fix this type of issue in the future. As always, my name is Brandon, and I will see you all next time.